men.
2026 is here. It's a year of blessings. It's a year of many firsts. But it's going to be a first for those of you who are celebrating Valentine's Day. We missed you, and now we are back. Happy Valentine's Day, and I wish you the best of luck because it's going to get rough. The views that are going to be expressed here, especially by me, do not reflect the views of NTV. I need to be very clear about that. Now, to set us off on this ride into love, we want to ask Chris a very interesting question. Chris, good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Now, Valentine's Day is a very sticky thing for a lot of men. Some men feel that they're being put under pressure. I have even coined it. That's why I put a disclaimer. I've coined it as, instead of being Valentine's Day, I've coined it as Burden Day, because it kind of feels like a burden. Do you think we put way too much emphasis on this one day that is not even ours as Africans?
It just feels like you're serving me to the wolves, right? Yeah. But I'll chime in. I think that depending on your stage of life,
Yeah.
and your understanding of what Valentine's is about, and if you're in a relationship, the stage of the relationship, Valentine's Day means different things. All right. There's some people who like to take it from the fundamental of Saint Valentine's, and and that's coming from the origin. Many people don't even understand that or even know a thing about it. Either they're like, Valentine's is about putting on black and red. In fact, there's people who are questioning why we are not putting on black and red right here, because those are the Valentine colors. So suddenly they play into a market, because it's business as well. Valentine's is business for people who are into clothes, into flowers, into restauranting and things like that. The places are packed on Valentine's Day with someone proposing or someone wanting to do something nice for their lady or guy or whatever. And then there's some people to whom the day passes like any other.
Same.
Yeah. So I don't want to downplay Valentine's Day for people to whom it matters. I also would not want to burden people to whom it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Well, I'll tell you what. And for the younger, because Faisal, I've seen you're popping a few gray hairs. So
I feel a couple.
So the term younger is escaping you.
Yeah.
Now, for you guys, the expectations seem to keep growing. All right. And when I was your age, all you needed to do was just to get a lady flowers and she was happy. Okay. Now things are changing. Somebody talked about it, and I'll not say who because he's a very controversial guy, but he mentioned that some people, that if you don't get your lady something when she goes to work, a workmate of hers will get her a car.
Yeah.
So,
A car for Valentine's.
Yeah, that's what Jaluo said. Okay, so I'm saying his
Pressure.
name. Yeah.
Pressure.
So now, is that pressure necessary? Or should you just say, you know what, I'm going to love my woman throughout the year. So whether it's Valentine's Day or not, it really doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll speak from experience. I feel like when the times when I was a very poor communicator, I used to look at Valentine's Day as a test. Yeah, because remember, I haven't sat down to speak with this person, so I don't even know what Valentine's Day means to them.
Yeah.
So this one time I went out of my way, got my tuition, took this girl out, rented a hotel, bought flowers. Like I did everything I
Tuition?
could. Yeah, my tuition. Yeah. So, we're good now. But I did all these things, and at the end of the night or the next day, I still did not feel like I did a lot, because she literally only appreciated like one thing. She's like, hey, yeah, I like the chocolates. But I'm like, so what about the night out? What about the hotel? What about the food? What about the movie? What about all these other things I had to do? So in that moment, I understood that I think this person was way more emotionally intelligent than I was, because I thought by doing all these things I see people doing, and when I see people on TV happy because they've bought them a car, they've taken them to a hotel, they bought flowers, I expected the same reaction. Yeah. So in the end, she thought I did too much. I thought I didn't do enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even after that, I asked my friends, man, I think I didn't do enough. Maybe she didn't like the hotel, maybe, So this pressure, we put it on ourselves, because Valentine's Day is supposed to be about understanding, doing something that's going to take the relationship further.
Yeah.
Yeah. You asked in the beginning, is it doing something for a girl or for a relationship? And I'll just use this one example. Yeah. Women hate the truth. If you go out and you have fun,
true.
if you go out and you have fun,
Yeah.
and you tell your girlfriend, okay, the women I've dated.
Yeah, please.
That's a
Hate
good
the truth,
qualifier.
yeah. So if I would go out
Can
and
say
I'm like,
women
yo,
you've dated,
and I'm like, yo, we are here, we are having fun with the boys, everything is amazing. I'd come back home and she has a tantrum,
Yeah.
What
So
time did you come home?
the good thing is I came back home.
At the end of the day, yeah, that's what
Came back
matters.
home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in that, now telling her that I had fun with the boys is not good for her. Yeah, but it's good for the relationship because I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
However, if I lie, it's good for her, but it's not good for the relationship. So it's the same thing. What is good for her might not always be good
for the
relationship. And what the world is looking at now is pleasing people as opposed to working on the relationship. As opposed to Valentine's Day has come, let's buy flowers, let's buy a TV, let's do a movie. How about Valentine's Day has come, let's sit down and communicate, let's realign our goals. Do we have like...
But Faisal, just to interject there, how can you separate the relationship from the person?
I'll tell you this, people are selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter the relationships I've been in, people are always selfish. Yes,
Human
they
beings
will
are
try-
selfish by
They will
nature,
try to
yeah.
put the relationship first, but at the end of the day, people tend to think about themselves a lot. So a big day like that has come, and they know you don't have money, but for some reason, because they've seen their friend getting flowers, their friend getting makeup, a hairdo, a spa date, they feel like you should also do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet they know the state of finances you are in is not so liquid.
All right, interesting. Now, Jody, reason why we have you here. Today we have Jody on the show. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
It's because we wanted to create a fair balance. So it's not just the guys talking about that. We also want to hear from a lady. Now, Faisal has pointed out something which is very important, and it does happen: the competition amongst women. Sometimes the competition has gone so stiff that women have financed their own Valentine's Day to look a certain way to their peers. Now, the trouble about that is, so she goes ahead and does that. As a man, you're in a lot of trouble after that. It becomes a point of reference. So, is it that important, generally, to women to be celebrated on Valentine's Day?
It's not a celebration of you as the woman. It's a celebration of your relationship. For example, just veering off the relationship between you and your husband or your boyfriend, et cetera, et cetera. Me and my mom, we actually celebrate Valentine's Day every year. We send flowers to each other.
Yeah.
So it's just a way for us to show appreciation to each other. It's something we agreed about. So even with your partner, we know each other, You as a woman know your husband or your boyfriend, and you know what they're capable of financially, and they know what you're capable of financially. Valentine's Day is not a day where it's just about what you can afford. It's about making the person feel special. So when you know your partner well enough, you get to know what would make them feel special. Whether it's just taking them out for dinner or buying them their favorite wine or buying them their favorite whiskey, that's what it's really about. So even when it comes to the things you can buy, and we will look at other women, But even in that case, if something special is done that is personal to you, they won't feel that way. And I can guarantee that.
Okay. There was a certain psychologists who mentioned something that women usually are very emotional, so they feel in the moment. So as a man, you can do all these great things, okay? But on that particular day, if you didn't do something for Valentine's Day, that's all she remembers. And that becomes the issue. Isn't that putting pressure on men? Because I'll tell you what, you might say it's can do the small things. There are men, and I like us to live in, Jalu calls it ground. Yes.
Down to earth.
They're literally on the ground and talk about the reality. Right now, in Uganda, kids are going back to school, right? We've just come out of the December period. There was a whole almost dead month because of elections and all that stuff. Guys are not liquid, realistically. So should that be something that should be put at the back? I'll not say who again, I heard somebody say, but it happens on the same day every year. You ought to know and plan for it. Is it that important?
Well, you have to know your partner. Is it that important to your partner? If you know year in, year out, you get in trouble on Valentine's Day because you haven't done something, then plan for it. Plan something so that at least they can see that you put in a little effort to a day that matters to them.
Let me ask. You see how they say when you're with a woman, you have to do something you can maintain. So the other issue I have with Valentine's Day is, and doing something is, sometimes you have money, sometimes you plan for it. Let's say you've had a good December, January, so you have money in February, and you've planned for this, and you do all this grand gesture. The problem is what happens next year when the same day comes and you do nothing.
Actually, should have planned for the next year. No, but in all seriousness.
Someone once said, execute plan A.
Yeah.
And if plan A fails, execute plan B. What is plan B? To execute plan A.
Okay.
And what is plan C? To execute plan B, which is to execute plan A. In other words, Valentine is what I'm hearing from her.
Yeah. But then, you see, the thing is, Mike, where I see a kind of disassociation from that is, if you do the same thing over and over again, it becomes monotonous, it becomes boring. So the trouble is, the pressure is you have to keep stepping up. Now, that comes at a cost, okay? And one of the things which I usually believe in just letting men know is, if you can't, you can't. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And if she also can't accept that you can't, then that's on her, all right? Should men just be able to say no? And if, in the example, you're like me who don't believe in Valentine's Day, should women be able to accept that? Chris?
I know I started talking about this a few months back, but I'm really actually now at the tail end of outing a book called Marry Well.
Yeah.
And it really comes from my observation of my parents' marriage when I was about 8. And I was too young to tell what was up, but I was old enough to tell something was off.
Yeah.
And so I started praying about my marriage when I was 8 years old.
So you wanted to get married at 8?
No, I was praying about it.
All right.
There's something I saw that I didn't like that made me start praying about my future marriage when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I know that's an oddity, but that's my story. Okay. And even if I didn't have language for it, I couldn't tell what it is that was going on, but I was like, something is off. My dad is in and out and things like that. And indeed, 2.5 years later, my parents separated. Okay. And so, if you like, I have spent a good 4 decades trying to find out how can people have a marriage that endures, that's not on and off, that's not circumstantial, all right? That is pressure resistant or is resilient. Because, some of these things are just, you know, they come and go.
Yeah.
But how do you have this thing that stands the test of time? And because the pressure is real.
Yeah.
In the 80s, 60s, 70s, communication was the thing. And then in the 80s and 90s, if you read most marriage books and all, it was about compatibility, 5 love languages, this and that, his needs, her needs, and stuff like that. But now it's about pressure. It's like pressure is real.
Yeah.
Pressure is real in relationships. Pressure from comparison. Like he said, they did this for my friend. Why don't you do this for me? And there's pressure from social media, because back in the day, no one knew what's going on in other people's homes. Now
they didn't
everyone is
care.
splashing it on. And sometimes it's the one time the person, this guy remembered Valentine's in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And so it's now splashed all over social media. It makes it look like he does it every year.
Yeah.
And your guy who has been doing it for the last 9 years but wasn't able to do it this year, looks like he's lost his marbles and things like that. There's pressure from in-laws, pressure from friends, there's pressure. And I think that it is important for us to build marriages that are strong enough to carry real life.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that there's some of these things that are unnecessary pressure.
Yeah.
And here's what I mean. I think that if you're married, for example, and you pass up on an anniversary, wedding anniversary, I honestly think that, look, you should do that, right? Even if it's a small gesture, that a day like that can't just go by.
But it's also just a day. It's also just a day.
It's also just a day, but
It's an
not
important
really.
day.
Okay? Because it's a special day. It's like a birthday.
Because it means something special to her. And if
Yeah,
Valentine's
and
means
to
something
you,
special to
you're-
her,
So listen to what I'm saying.
Anniversary.
Your birthday, someone's birthday is special because it was the first time they were born. Like, it's just remembering
Yeah.
that they were born. Now, you could buy them a sweet, a mandazi or whatever, but to stop and recognize that day is important.
Yeah.
I've been married 21 years now. Hopefully this year, God willing, we'll make 22.
What do you mean, hopefully?
But
should
now,
run on
God
hope.
willing, look, that's what the Bible teaches, that as you plan, you say God willing, because God decides.
Yeah,
I hope to live up to 120, but so anyway, I was just saying, when we made 10 years, we had money was tight. I'm very open with money with my wife, so we had talked about it. We all knew what's up. We went through the whole day. I did nothing. We understood. We had no money. Look, my friend, before we slept, yo, I got to realize that you never pass up an anniversary. Because you didn't even buy even a sweet. Even a sweet. So, Peter, what I am saying is that we need to make sure that we're pressure resistant.
Yeah.
To build something that endures.
Yeah.
But I sort of agree with her to say, if something is so important to someone, if a day is so important to someone, stop and recognize, even with a sweet.
All right, we do need to go into a break. We're here at Sanga Calls having a conversation about Valentine's Day. What does it mean to you? Get us on our social pages. Our hashtag is NTV Men. Also, our X handle is NTVmen_UG. Follow us. We just might follow you back if what you're saying makes sense. So let's engage in a couple of conversations and we will definitely make the show a better one. We also have a
QR code.
QR code because feedback is important. This is your show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Men. Men.
Welcome back to Men. Now, we are here talking about Valentine's Day. as I mentioned earlier, the views that are expressed on this show are strictly mine, not one for everybody else. Yes.
They're ours, but not necessarily for that show.
Yes, they're ours.
For that station.
Yes, because these are very controversial views where Valentine's Day is concerned. Some of you probably will want to burn us down because of what we're just about to say. Others will be like, yes, we are for you. Now, guys, there is a QR code on your screen. Scan it. Let's talk about the show. Give us your feedback. We want to hear from you. Now, Faisal, you had a question.
So here's what I wanted to ask you guys. So I spoke to someone about this topic before, and they asked me if the government had switched off internet during this time when Valentine's Day was there, do you think Ugandans would recognize it or not? And it hit me that a lot of people would have let that day pass.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, we are moving into a society or a generation that celebrates, it looks at the perception side of things as opposed to the intent. Yeah. You see, as much as they say love is action, love is acts of service, a lot of the people are going to forget the intent behind the actions and look at the perception bit.
Yeah.
You see, you've bought me flowers. They're not going to think about the fact that you took time to think about what they like and get the flowers. They're going to think about the part of, but the flowers are not made of money, and everyone is getting flowers that have money now.
But I thought
there's no cake, there's no note.
Banned those bouquets.
Yeah, they will, but
They're still
there. They're still there. So when a society moves towards that lens of we are only looking at things the way they are perceived online, it just kills the entire holiday. Because even if you do something nice, it just won't be enough because the perception out there in society is completely different. And we are to blame because every time we're pushing Valentine's, every time we're talking about it, we're just talking about materialistic things.
Yes.
No one is talking about, it's Valentine's Day. I haven't seen any, I'd say, mental health communities advertising that, guys, we have come as a couple, we're going to sit you down and counsel you guys and kind of realign how your relationship will go. No, people are like, come, eat food, have fun, let's dance, full stop, because it's all perception. The intent is there.
Okay, and Jody, I want you to weigh in here. There's clearly a very commercial aspect towards Valentine's Day, and I say kudos to all of you who are cashing in on it. It's an opportunity. But just riding off what Faisal has said, we're talking about pressure. Mental health, of course, is an issue. Right now, we are seeing the mental health of men is deteriorating. And I'm not saying it's happening because of Valentine's Day, but there are different forms of pressure that keep on mounting on men. And performance is one of them. Now, men are being judged, the performance of men is now outward. What does the rest of the world perceive my woman looks like? I've heard people say, oh, you need to take good care of your woman, all right? And she has to look like she's well taken care of.
Otherwise, someone else would.
Yeah, that's not fair. Because Colin's the one who likes saying that people are not handbags. So you're not just a handbag sitting there. If you're not well taken care of, somebody else can come and carry you and go. It means you want it to be taken.
Yeah.
So should men just put their foot down and say, no, if I don't believe in Valentine's Day, then I'm not going to do anything. And that's a you problem.
That's a conversation you can have with your significant other, People are different. Some women will be like, no, you still have to do something. Others that are understanding will be okay with it.
And others will ask for a sweet.
Yeah, others will ask for a sweet.
What would you like? What's your ideal Valentine's Day present?
My ideal Valentine's Day present is just being home with my husband. Him cooking, me helping, him having his whiskey, me having my wine, and that's it. That's Valentine's Day.
What would you get for him?
Whiskey, a good whiskey. But guys, I'm also just
You're different.
I'm a simple girl. I'm fine with that.
No, well, but you see, the thing is, first of all, you need to preach that to more women because there's and I know it kind of looks like I'm probably attacking women, which I'm not. But when you look at the commercialization of Valentine's Day, there's a huge push, especially by the women, to receive gifts. I have heard in very many very many forums where a woman would prefer to get her flowers at work than to get them at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're receiving the flowers. Should it really matter?
Perception.
Yeah, it's perception, but then it's also at work. Sometimes, you know, there's other women also getting flowers.
Yeah.
And I can't necessarily describe it well, but it's just an inner feeling that, oh, why not me? You know? So when you as a man also send flowers to work, then they feel happy about it because they're part of that in crowd.
The vibe.
Versus, yeah, part of the vibe.
So Peter,
Sadly,
again,
it's a thing.
like I say in my book that's about to come out very well, the pressure
Yes.
is real.
Yeah.
And so here is an expectation being laid on a guy. And most guys have probably missed the cue already.
Yeah.
That the flowers you get in the privacy of a restaurant or at home should have gone to the office. So you know, just you are wondering why your flowers were not celebrated. That bouquet of 150K or 200K. It's where they were delivered, not how much they cost or how beautiful they were.
Yeah.
So even the one rose for 10K goes further.
One rose of 10K at the
the
office
office.
And a chocolate.
chocolate is better than a bouquet of 300K
At
at
the
home. Are you seeing? So look, we are living in a pressurized environment when it comes to relationships, unfortunately. And we need to first of all recognize the pressure and see where the pressure leaks. All right. And so that we can strengthen that. Can I just talk about some of the thoughts I have in the book that's out in? I think that every great relationship needs 4 anchors. The first is fortitude. The second is having a good, strong foundation. The other is friendship, and the other is fulfillment.
Yeah.
Right? Fortitude has things like control, boundaries. You need to put boundaries around your relationship. Like decide, for example, if these pressure days are your thing or they are not your thing. Because you can, once you created the boundary, you're happy within the boundary you've created.
Yeah.
Dealing with things like custodianship, money is a big deal. Because I could buy you flowers for Valentine's, but there's no school fees for the kids.
Yeah.
I can tell you still don't have a happy met.
Yeah.
Right? Things like custodianship, contribution, building a business or something, and also change, being adaptable. With seasons of life, it changes. So there's a season when someone can give you one flower and a chocolate. There's another season of a sweet. There's another season where Valentine's is a car.
Yeah.
And adjusting to that. So that's really what fortitude is. And I think it's the most important thing, because when the pressure of society, in-laws, friends, and everything hits social media, it hits fortitude first.
Yeah.
It hits the whole thing of, so you're feeling all this pressure, you're feeling ashamed. Why? You didn't create boundaries. Or you don't have your money game together.
Yeah.
So why didn't I celebrate our 10th anniversary as I ought to have?
Yeah.
It's because at that time, the money wasn't making sense.
Yeah.
If there was money, I would never have not celebrated the anniversary.
Yeah.
You better have been celebrating the anniversary since, like, never miss it. But are you seeing what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then the other thing about foundation, which is the second anchor, has things like what I call charis or grace. Just being gracious toward one another. Because look, sometimes if your person has explained and said, look, this is where we are, be a little forgiving.
Understand.
You can't say,
yeah.
no, for me, I'm supposed to get the flowers at office. If they didn't come, I don't want to know what kind of man are you, rubbish and all that. Like,
Yeah.
no, like be a little forgiving. Are you seeing what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot more that I get to say, and also having friendship. It helps a lot when you're friends.
Yeah.
When we can be able to have conversation that, where I open my heart, you open your heart, and you get to see what's going on. And then also doing some things that are fulfilling. Because I'll tell you, some people are not happy with what happened with Valentine's because it was not taking them anywhere.
Yeah.
What does this thing you're doing helping us? Like, for example, with our stage of life, if I really want to make my wife happy, like where we are now, it's about the kids' uni.
Yeah.
Because that's what's taking us somewhere.
Yeah.
Our kids at uni, get great placement for a great university that they're in, and they're studying well.
So that
things
would be
are
the
going
best
well.
Valentine's
I mean,
gift.
that's Valentine's. Like anytime I press that button in our season now, it's like all bells ringing.
Yes.
Right?
I think that's
so
because-
that's important. I think so. I think those 4 anchors are important: the fortitude, the foundation, the friendship, and the fulfillment.
Yeah.
When you look at it, balance it out, you can manage all this pressure and have a great relationship.
The 4 Fs.
I
Yeah.
want to just ask something. Do you think if because in this generation or in this era, there's something they call love languages. I don't know whether you guys have.
The 5 love languages.
Yeah, it's
I
been
don't know how
around
they
a
are, but
while.
they keep increasing. So my question is, if you are with someone who is already like they have their life sorted, the kids at uni, they're in government, do you now realize that at that point in time that wouldn't count?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's knowing what the current season is. What does fulfillment look like for the couple where you are? You are at uni. You are dating or courting, working toward a marriage. What fulfillment looks like at that point
It's
is completely different
Yeah.
from a couple that's been married coming to 22 years.
Yeah, but the problem is at that age, because I've been in that situation before.
Yeah.
I had someone and I felt like, now that we're dating and Valentine's is coming, I should probably set up something for her and all that. And I did that.
So let me tell you, can I just say, I think what you missed, and maybe others can weigh in, what you missed is this. You see, conversation is sort of like a dipstick test that you do almost on a daily. Our friends joke that we're always whispering and talking to each other.
You're those couples that gossip.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
they say, what are you guys talking about? You're always talking. And our kids as well tease us in the same way. But really, conversation, which is one of the key things that I still talk about, is about opening up myself to my spouse.
Yeah.
For them to know where I am, what I feel is important, what's going on with my world, and me getting to know what's going on in their world. So here's a thing you did. You assumed what was going on in her world, and you went overboard in the wrong direction. And the only thing that mattered in her world was the chocolate. It was not to sleep with her. It was not to pay for that hotel, which was the most expensive thing you did. It was none of the things that you planned for and spent your tuition on. It was to see her as a person and appreciate her with a chocolate. So if you actually had been having conversation, doing the dipstick test, you'd know this is the level we're operating at, and you'd be just right.
But Chris, there's just one thing I see a bit flawed with what you're saying. Because you see, I get this feeling that it's the man has to do everything for the woman. He has to do it to please her. How about he sets his agenda first and says, this is who I am? Because I think also as men, we are losing our... I'm a strong proponent, for the alpha male, because I think a man is supposed to take lead and also take lead in the relationship. And I'm not saying a man should not negotiate, okay? But he's the one to decide what makes sense for the relationship.
No. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you, especially with the way you put it.
No,
it's
it's a relationship that two people. How can one person
not.
be in charge of everything?
So here's the thing.
Gosh.
It's okay for you to be the leader, and there's a role you play as a leader. One of these good days, I'll actually even show you a biblical perspective that may shock you.
Yeah.
That a husband actually has the same authority before God
I
as
know
a
it.
father.
My point exactly.
Right.
And when your
But-
father tells you something, you follow.
Yeah, but this is where you get it wrong, sir. This is explaining your misery.
Jeez, I didn't say I'm sad.
You're not dealing with a house girl. It's a wife. Yeah, so that explains your trouble. So there's a way you handle it. And the point I'm making is this. Just like you said, from what Colin has said before, that this whole thing of the threat of if you're not taken care of, someone else is going to take you. You're not a handbag.
Yeah.
So because she's not a handbag, you don't deal with her as a handbag when you're leading. It's a double-edged sword.
Let's get into a break. We are not yet done with that. We are here at Sangha Courts having a conversation about Valentine's Day and the pressures that it puts on men. If you're a man out there who's feeling like Valentine's Day is weighing down on you, my personal advice is just walk away. We'll be right back after the break.
Men. Men.
Welcome back from the break. We are here at Sangha Courts having a conversation about Valentine's Day and what it means to men and how men can deal with the pressure without succumbing to it. Now, we do have our QR code on your screen. Scan it and let's talk. Let's use it to give us feedback that is very important to us. Now, I think you kind of got me wrong when I was talking about the alpha male and a man taking lead. What I meant is, I'm trying to say this as the best way possible without letting it sound off.
Without getting cancelled.
Without getting cancelled, yes. Shouldn't we be advocating for men to be taking the front seats? Rather than saying, okay, a man has to just do what his woman wants for Valentine's to make her happy so that there's peace. Because it looks as if you don't do certain things, then everything's going to go to hell and it's on you.
But
You should have done what you were
listening
supposed to have done.
listening to someone is taking lead. Because you're literally putting their, I'd say, perspectives, you're considering them. That's taking lead. How are you going to lead someone if you don't know what's in their mind? You just assume you're just doing everything.
Yeah.
So if I sit down and I get to listen to you, I get to know what matters to you, what doesn't matter. In my perspective, I feel like that's being a better leader because now I can act on exactly what matters to you.
So what the Bible calls what he has just said, it calls it love.
Yeah.
So when you love the person, it makes it easier for them to submit to your leadership.
Okay.
Peter, if you are trying to dodge Valentine's Day 2026,
No, I
feel
don't.
like
I
you are-
don't.
you are
I'll tell you one
failing
thing.
miserably.
I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't believe in it.
Never ever
Uh,
before.
When I was much younger in high school, I did, and I started asking myself very fundamental questions. Why? And I could not answer the why. Because to me, I don't think you need to pick one particular day to show love, okay? And to show it to the rest of the world that you love your person. I believe you're meant to love your person the way you love them best. And forget about what the world thinks. It's about the two of you. Now, if it's your thing to be all showy and flashy, fine, by all means, go ahead. But don't do it because it's Valentine's Day.
Peter, let me put it to you like this. The person that you are with has lived their whole, but before you met, they lived their whole lives without you. Whether you met at 25, that means that's 25 years before you. Whether you met at 30 or 35, they've had life experiences. That whole time, that shaped who they are and what they view as love.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I am a fan of what you're saying and also the affection, the different types of affection, is because their experiences have shaped how they see affection. And basically, whether it's gift giving, for example, if they want cars or so on and so forth, when you get together
giving
with your
people cars is
partner,
wrong.
it is wrong,
Yes.
in my opinion, but as I said, people are different. So now when you meet this person and you enter that dating phase with them, you have to get to know them And I am a true believer of communication. During that dating phase, it's when you find out what that person is like. You also find out what's important to them, how they view love, because they're going to find out how you view love as well. And wouldn't you like them to love you the correct way? They'd like the same in return, whether it's gift giving or I'm a personal fan of acts of service. Now you know that this is what my partner needs. If you find out that also these days are important to them, Valentine's Day, that's when you, trigger what you know my partner sees love as, and you just give that to them. It's not so hard.
Well, it depends.
It's not so hard.
He's in a suit.
I mean, yeah.
In this country, you usually put on a suit when you're going to do something hard. Like the Valentine's show.
I beg to differ about that, but well, I'll tell you what. Yes, I agree with you. I really do agree with you. But you see, the thing is, then when do you draw the line and then just say, you know what, I can't or I won't?
That's, again, communication. I don't know, maybe it's a new word.
Yeah. Men are not good at communicating. You know that. That's just the way.
Not really.
I won't say they're not good. I'll say sometimes people misread our I'd say our reactions or emotions, because I was speaking to someone, they're not from Uganda, and they said, you know, I don't like the fact that when I'm talking to Ugandan men, they shut off. Like all of a sudden they keep quiet and they're like, we'll continue this conversation tomorrow. But me, I want to finish that conversation today, right now. And in my head, I'm like, I've grown up in this situation. Okay, I grew up in a family that was loving. But my dad, when he would get pissed, he would get really mad. Like his voice would go up. And I had that experience with my first girlfriends. I would start an argument and I'd find my voice going way higher, and then they hold me accountable for that. No, you're even shouting, you disrespect him. So most of the times now when someone starts something and I feel like I'm getting rallied up, I'm going to just keep quiet. I'll keep quiet, I'll listen to all your facts, and then I'll sit back and say, okay, what am I now supposed to do? As opposed to acting in the moment. But you see, at that point in time, the other person will say, man, he's a poor communicator. He shuts off. He doesn't want to say this and that. Ideally, I'm just protecting myself. Because the best way I would communicate in that point in time is going to be misread. I'll say something, I'll raise my voice, and all of a sudden, he wanted to beat me. He's violent and all this. You know the rhetoric that's there. So I won't say men are poor communicators. We are often misunderstood.
You know what? I'm going to use that same situation, right? If you can't communicate in that very moment, then just say that I need some space, but I'll come back to you on that.
Do you know what it means to a woman when you tell her, I need space?
Well,
so like, so now you want to go and see your other...
I mean...
The reason why I say that is because I'm the same. When a conversation gets very heated, sometimes I need time to think about it. Otherwise, I'll say something that I don't mean. So I'll just tell my partner, look, I've heard you. Just give me a few minutes.
All right, I'll tell you what. You know, the reality is that Valentine's Day is coming. Whether we like it or not, it's going to be there. It's going to keep coming every year. We cannot act like it's not there. Now, what I want to hear from us is, Chris, starting with you as we wrap up the show. What would you advise, especially the young men out there, to make Valentine's Day special?
What I would say is, if you're into Valentine's and it's something that you are going to do, it's important to you, with maybe the girl that you're dating or courting, or with your wife, I think it's to find a way of talking about it, to figure out what matters to them. What does love look like to them? So that you're communicating. It's not a killjoy, actually. It's that, you're having conversation, but you're wisely asking, what is it that matters to the person, all right? And then you actually then go out of your way to prove that you are listening. Because what that does is the person feels seen. They feel appreciated. They feel like he had me, he sees me, I'm special. I think that that's what it is.
All right, interesting. Faisal, what would you advise? How do we make Valentine's Day special and memorable?
Man, I've been burnt enough times. I've been burnt enough times, so I'll just stick to the men's side. Yeah, guys, if you feel like it's stressful, if you feel like it's pressure, walk away, because you're not going to die because you didn't celebrate Valentine's Day. I look back at some of the things I did or some of the holidays I celebrated. I don't regret it, yeah, but I feel bad because I did so much for the wrong reason. Yeah, I could have put that energy somewhere else. I could have put that time, that motivation, that money into something else. I appreciate the lessons, but what I'm trying to say is speak to that person. Like he said, the only issue I have is Chris is speaking to a lot of the people Chris is speaking to are already emotionally intelligent. They know what they want. They know where they're supposed to go. And then there's us who are just speaking to anyone and everyone. Yeah, you speak to someone, I want a car. I feel like a car would complete all my needs. You've gone online and you've seen how people are always like, 5 million shillings would finish all my problems right now.
And you earn 120k.
300k. And you earn like
We all
300. Yeah? So
We all know.
in from a man's perspective, in my age group, do not kill yourself for these people, because there's always a guy who can do it better than you.
Facts. Jody,
Send flowers to the office.
simple.
No, but seriously, it's just about making each other feel special. And if you are with someone that you want to be with long term, there's a difference between long term and short term relationships, and you truly want to show that that person matters to you, then do something nice for them on Valentine's Day.
Just paddle back to the difference between long term and short term. So if you're in a short term relationship, it's different.
I'm
Just
saying
get
it's
what you
your
can
choice.
get.
I'm saying it's your choice. But if you really want to be with this person, then why not do something special for them on Valentine's Day? And if you have been with them for a long time, I like what you said about the phases. Know where you are in your relationship, have that conversation, and see if Valentine's is important. If it is, do something small, get them a sweet.
No, okay. And the sweet it is.
Sweet it is.
Now, I am very conflicted, okay, because at the end of the day, what you believe in is what you believe in, and nobody can take that away from you. But what I just say is, I unfortunately lean towards Faisal, because do not die in your movie. You only live once. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Men, stop putting unnecessary pressure on yourselves. Because there is somebody out there who's got more money than you. There's somebody out there who's also looking at your woman. And for the men out there, if your woman is being looked at by very many men, it means you made the right choice. So, because otherwise nobody will be looking at her. But don't break your neck. Don't die in your movie. Have a great Valentine's, and we will be here to talk about how it was after Valentine's. Have a good night. God bless. And we will see you next week on NTV, man.